Hi everyone, I'm Matthew Case. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm teaching chess openings for all chess beginners. So our focus today is e4 against e5. So guys, we have the opening stage, middle stage, and the end game. So our focus today is on the chess openings. Let's get started, shall we? Most people, they respond with e5. So when you play e4, guys, it's a good move because you will be controlling the center. So initially, the reason why most people play e4, d4, they would want to control the center. Let's look at this move. I've played knight to f3, attacking the pawn on e5. So how can my opponent defend the pawn? Yes, mostly some they play d6, defending the pawn. Some they play knight to c6, defending that pawn. Right? So I want to develop my pieces quickly. At the same time, you should also be attacking. Don't just push pawns at this stage. Develop big pieces, that is your knights and your bishop. Look at the move. Let me play b5, attacking the knight that is defending that pawn. So this move, this one is Ruy Lopez. It's Ruy Lopez, and I'm also going to show you Italian, where I'll place my bishop on c4. Yes, so now you can kick my bishop by playing a6. It doesn't matter, we can trade the knights, then knight with my bishop, and after that, now there are two options. I can castle, or I can take that pawn that is now hanging. Knight takes e5. Yes, but if you take the pawn, don't think you gain it for free. If you're playing with a good chess player, you place queen to d4, and you win this pawn back, because you're by attacking your piece. You bring back the knight, you take the pawn, you put your queen, you trade the queens. So now after this, you are now in the middle game. You understand? Now let me show you another move where you don't take that pawn. So this one is just fair. e4, e5, e4, e5, knight to f3. Then he plays knight to c6. You attack that knight. I'm attacking. Yes, guys, don't be afraid of that trade, bishop and knight. So I've seen chess beginners saying, the knight is stronger than bishop. Some saying the bishop is stronger than the knight. So guys, they have the same value, and also it depends with the position. So I'm comfortable with trading pieces here. After this stage, you can just castle. You understand? Castle. That's it. Easy stuff. Are you seeing this? So don't leave your king at the center, because it will be too risky. You have to castle. Look at that rook. So your rook must be connected. Are you seeing this? But if your king is at the center, your rooks are not connected. Again, now let me show you the Italian. e4, e5, you develop your knight, you develop the knight. You don't attack the knight this time. Let me place my bishop on c4. Bishop to c4. It develops the knight, which is a good chess. But now when it develops, I want you to look at this. I want to attack. You have an attacking mind. Now I can play the knight to g5. Knight to g5. Or I can play d3. But let me play knight to g5. Now look at this. I'm attacking f7 square, and he has not defended, because I'm attacking with my knight. At the same time, I'm attacking with my bishop. So how can black defend this kind of move? Black can play e5, defending, and at the same time attacking your light bishop. So if he attacks, I'll just take with my pawn. I'll take that pawn. So he takes d5. The knight can attack my bishop. Knight to a5, attacking my bishop. I can choose to play b5 check. It defends the bishop. I can trade the bishops. Yes, queen trade. Or maybe I cannot trade. I can protect my bishop by playing queen e2. If he takes my bishop, I'll take back with my queen. I'll take with my queen, check. If he push the pawn, we'll trade the pawn. Are you seeing this? You can play e6. I will take with my pawn. If he takes back, I cannot take the knight because it's protected with the queen now. I will take the pawn. I win the pawn. This is a good chess. Then after this, you castle. Remember what I said, don't leave your king at the center. is too risky. Let me show you a blunder, what some other people do. They don't understand chess. So they just move pieces, push the pawns. Don't just push pawns. Develop first. Look at this move, A3. The opponent is castled. For example, you have attacked the knight. This is this is a mistake. You can sacrifice the bishop by taking a B4, sacrificing the piece for the greater good. And if you can't see this, if you take the bishop, that's a blunder. Look at that move. The rook, you spin the queen, takes. Your queen can't get away. It's trapped. So make sure you castle quickly. E4, E5, you develop. Now let me show you this move where you attack F7. Some of your opponents who are still learning, they won't see this coming. For example, let's say he plays A6. That's a blunder. Look at that question mark, red question mark represent blunder. You might play maybe H6, trying to attack your knight. Not seeing what you're planning again is a blunder. You can play maybe D6, it's a blunder. If you blunder, what do? You take that pawn, but you don't take the bishop, please. Don't just do a check. It's not necessary. You take with the knight, and that's a fork. Your knight is attacking the queen, and at the same time is attacking the rook. So you're going to win one piece there. So this is an advantage to you because the exchange is good. So obviously you protect the queen and you take the rook. So obviously your knight won't come out here. Your knight is trapped here. Even if he's trapped, but you want the rook. So in terms of a exchange, you have an advantage. That's what you have to understand in chess, because the rook or the castle is a greater value as compared to knight. You get it? Don't be tricked. Knight and a rook is a greater value as compared to knight. You understand? So this is it, guys. Now again, let me show you this. E4, E5. You develop. Maybe your opponent plays knight to F6, so you don't have to cream chess. You understand? He plays a different move. Now the pawn is hanging. I can take the pawn, but just know even if I win the pawn, he's going to take my pawn back, so it is going to be equal. So that's why sometimes it's very important to develop quickly. You can end up trading. So for white, it's not just good to just trade pieces at this stage. E4, you can play E6 now. Now take advantage of the center. You can play D4. You have to control the center. And your black, if he knows what he's doing, you also fight for the center by playing D5. And if he plays D5, don't hesitate to take that pawn. You understand? You double step the pawn, you takes back. You understand? And you as white, you are controlling the dark squares with your pawn at the center. That pawn, his pawn, is controlling the light squares. You develop. Remember what I said, don't just push pawns. I've seen this move now. Most people who are learning, they are afraid of this pin where your opponent pin your knight. You can't move your knight because you lose your queen. Like for example, you can't play your knight to E5. That's a blunder. He takes your queen. You get it? So in this case, we say your queen is pinned. The knight is pinned. You can't play the knight because you lose the queen. So how do you defend? You can play the bishop to E2. You understand? Or you can just ignore. You understand? But when you ignore, look at that move. That knight to C6 is coming to take what? D4. And you can't say I will respond with my knight because your knight is hanging, is pinned. If you should play your knight, remember, don't forget you lose your queen. So you can't ignore that move because if he takes, you can't take with the knight. Remember, your queen is hanging, you take your queen. You understand? So how do you defend this move? You have to see this move coming so that you won't lose your pawn. You follow. For example, you might not take with the pawn, you might take the knight with the bishop. And if he takes and you take back with your queen, that pawn that is hanging now, you take the pawn with the knight. I think this is gained the pawn. So and it comes back. So how do you defend this? So if you see your opponent playing that knight, you can defend by c3. You understand? So let me show you again. You develop, you start by pinning this. You try to attack, he maintains the pin. Alright, look at this. You can put your bishop there, such that even if he plays the knight, you can castle. Even if you play the knight, your queen is safe. You can play c3, protecting the pawn. Are you seeing this? So this is it, guys. Very simple, right? All right, you can even pin your opponent's knight. He pinned your knight. This time you pin his knight. So 50-50, right? e4 against e5, e4 against e6. I sing this. Now this move that I want to show you, I just want to show you what other people do, whereby they end up losing their light bishop on c4. Always know what your opponent is planning, like playing e5, a5 there. If you ignore this move, you end up losing your light bishop, because you've played d3. d3 is not wrong. For example, you played your knight, he attacks your knight, your bishop double step, and if you now your bishop is trapped. Even if you play the bishop to b3, look at this, you can play a4, and now you can't exchange your bishop with a pawn. You made a loss. You understand? So always see what your opponent is doing. Even if you take that pawn and say check, you have lost, because you are sacrificing a big piece for a pawn. Even if you take, it comes back. So guys, this is not good. Always watch out for those kind of moves. So if your opponent plays like a5, look at your bishop. If he plays b5, will I escape? No. So how do I respond to this? I can play a3, such that if he plays b5 attacking my bishop can go to a2, is now safe. And this is a good move. And look at that f7, I'm attacking my opponent king, because the aim is to attack, and the aim is to win pieces. The aim is to do checkmate. So if you can't checkmate, win pieces. If you win pieces, you can go to endgame. You can win the game. And after this, I can pin. Are you seeing this? So guys, this is not difficult. You maintain the pin. If you double steps attacking your bishop, you can go back to g3. And if you do like that, he is the one who has created weaknesses. You understand? You'll be creating weaknesses. Develop quickly. Develop quickly, castle quickly, so that you go to the middle game. Some want to learn the scholar's mate, or some they call it fool's mate, whereby you play your bishop and you play your queen there, attacking that f7. But if black knows what to do, he plays knight to f6, defending that checkmate. So I don't recommend people to play the queen quickly at the opening stage, because you keep on running away with your queen will be attacked. You can't take that, you lose. So you have to run away. You understand? You play e4, e3, so your queen will be attacked. Look at that knight move. Some learners won't see that fork. Like if you push the pawn, you get a check, and that's a fork. You can take the queen. He wins the queen. Are you seeing this? So guys, make sure you castle quickly. That's why I was talking about castling, and also about not bringing the queen quickly. You understand? So as a beginner, don't just bring the queen out quickly in the game. You might end up losing the queen. You understand this? So this is it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos.